You're watching Good Day New York from the most powerful name in local news, Fox 5 News.
Well, the Super Bowl, a great game last week. We were sorry that the Jets weren't there. But imagine if your favorite team was in the game and you paid thousands of dollars for Super Bowl tickets, airfare, hotels. You did everything right. But when you get to Cowboys Stadium, they don't have a seat for you. That actually happened to hundreds of people last Sunday when entire sections of seats were deemed unsafe by the fire marshal at the last minute. 400 ticket holders could not get in. They watched the game in a tent on TV. Attorney Michael Avenatti has filed a $5 million class action lawsuit. He joins us along with Steelers fan Bruce Ivy, who traveled to Dallas for the Super Bowl with his daughter. He could not get in. Welcome to you both.
Good morning.
Bruce, first to you. You showed up at Cowboys Stadium. What happened?
Well, Greg, we showed up at the stadium and we waited approximately almost 3 hours to get through the security line, which was basically in a dangerous situation for all the fans that were waiting. We were hustled up to our seat with 4 minutes to go before the kickoff, and at that point we were told that our seats were unavailable and we would be housed in another location. At that point we were taken down by a freight elevator to the bowels of the basement where we watched the game on television.
How much money did you pay for your ticket?
Overall, Brian, the tickets, Greg, were approximately $6,000 to $8,000 for all the expenses that were incurred.
How are you feeling, and what was your daughter saying?
My daughter, Kayla, she obviously was upset, and it was kind of hard to explain to Kayla how a trip of a lifetime to go join Dad at the Super Bowl, how we didn't even get to see one live play.
Going to bring your attorney here in one moment, but I want to ask you this. What the NFL has offered so far, my understanding, 3 times the ticket value, cash. Transportation and accommodations and a ticket to next year's Super Bowl. Is that pretty much what they've offered?
They have a couple different offers, and you know, right now as a fan, we're just looking for some compensation for all of our expenses that we incurred, and the league's got to step up and do something for the fans.
I think everybody agrees that something has to be done here. What do you think, Michael, of the offer the NFL's made so far?
Well, so far I think it's weak, to be honest with you, Greg. The bottom line is that the NFL should compensate these fans 100 cents on the dollar for the ticket cost, whatever they paid, and their travel expenses at a minimum.
My understanding is that they're offering 300 cents on the dollar.
Well, they're not offering 300 cents on the dollar because most fans didn't have the opportunity to pay face value. Most fans bought these tickets at $3,000 to $4,000. So if they were to take the NFL's offer, they'd actually be shorted. And the NFL knows this because the NFL knows what these tickets were trading at.
How much are you actually suing for, and how much could somebody like Bruce get if you get what you think he deserves?
Well, what we're suing for is, again, 100 cents on the dollar. We want each fan that was displaced to be given everything that they expended. And if ultimately that's $3 million, so be it. If it's $6 million, so be it. But the bottom line is that it's time for the NFL to step up.
Okay, for all the fans. We're not talking, look, you're not trying to make anybody rich here, are you?
Absolutely not, Greg. No one's trying to get rich. Bruce is not trying to get rich, and I'm not trying to get rich. The only thing that people are trying to do is get what is rightfully due them.
You know, I have to say, there's probably a case here, though, for punitive damages. I mean, there was emotional distress. I mean, Bruce, you told your family, your friends, that you're going to the Super Bowl, and this happened. You weren't actually able to get into the Super Bowl.
As a matter of fact, you know, when you have to look at your daughter and a tear's coming down your eye and apologize to your daughter saying, honey, I don't know how this happened, and there was no explanation from the NFL whatsoever for the entire time. There was no food, no beverage. We were basically just left to hang out and dry and watch it on a television.
Go ahead.
And importantly, the NFL and the Cowboys knew this was going to be a problem before game day. And despite that fact, they didn't come forward and disclose it to people like Bruce so that people could make decisions about whether to travel to the game.
This is now, it's facing litigation, but here's a statement from Jerry Jones. We reached out to the NFL, but this is the statement that we have prior to our reaching out. We deeply regret their Super Bowl experience was impacted by this error, and we share that responsibility with the NFL. We will also continue to work closely with the NFL in its complete review of Super Bowl 45. I have heard this from the Dallas Cowboys and from NFL officials. They are embarrassed, and they're sorry. Are at least negotiations at work here, you know, what pre-trial kind of maneuvering?
I sent a letter on Saturday to the commissioner, and I've asked that he and Mr. Jones sit down with us so that we can work this out. We're reasonable. We want to get it resolved. It's great that they've made these statements, Greg, but they need to be accountable, and they need to actually take action.
And Bruce, you may go to next year's Super Bowl, but you know the Cowboys may or may not be in it, right?
Greg, you know, as a fan, It's wonderful to be offered a ticket for next year's Super Bowl, but the experience, the idea of going there with your father, your mother, your daughter, your son, it was the experience, and that is what we're missing out on. And how is that, there's no monetary value that can be replaced.
Give me a quick idea. What did you spend overall on last Sunday? Overall,
probably the expenses came to somewhere in between $6,000 to $8,000.
And what do you think? What do you think would be an appropriate number to compensate you?
Well, Greg, you know, everybody has their own individual ideas. Myself, as a fan, a lifelong Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and somebody who's never going to get that moment back, again, how can it be replaced? I can't put a monetary value on there. I just hope that the NFL steps up and does something for the fans. Without the fans here, the NFL is out of business. I mean, we are the customers of the NFL.
Yes. Bruce, Ivy, nice to meet you. Michael Avenatti, thank you
Greg,
very much.
Thank you.
Keep us posted.
Thank you.